What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Let's Talk Movies podcast. I'm your host, Brian Drolet, and on today's episode, I'm going to give you some of the latest in movie news. First up, we have some news from actor Sam Neill, star of the original Jurassic Park. He said in an interview recently that him and the other lead actors felt a little slighted, a little irked, because originally that movie was marketed and people were saying it was to prove Steven Spielberg could make a movie without movie stars. Him and the other actors were like, hey, do you need to kick us while promoting this movie? Hey, come check out a movie with dinosaurs and zero acting talent. No stars, that's right. I'd be a little annoyed about that as well. Apparently, they did make an offer to Harrison Ford, who turned down the role. Gosh, imagine turning down Jurassic Park. I mean, what does he care? He's in Indiana Jones, a million franchises. I guess he's like, I don't need this one, but he would have been great in that movie. It's always crazy what certain actors and movie stars turn down, but luckily, Sam Neill and his co-stars, Jeff Goldblum, they all got to be the stars of the movie. And yeah, I'd be a little bit annoyed too if the marketing department was like, hey, come check out this movie with no movie stars in it. Hey, I'm a star in your movie. Can I get a little bit of love? All right. Anyways, what do you guys think about that? All right, so John Wick 4 is doing amazing at the box office. I think it's the highest grossing R-rated film since 2020, they said. And originally, the director, Chad Stahelski, I think that's how you say it, said when he originally showed the studio the movie and the ending of the movie, they called him insane. They said, what are you, out of your mind? Now, I'm not going to give away what happens at the end of the movie. If you want to see why the studio thought he was out of his mind, go check out John Wick 4, currently in theaters. All right, huge news in the entertainment community, specifically a problem for Marvel Studios. Jonathan Majors was arrested recently for alleged assault on his girlfriend, who says he strangled her and hit her in a cab. Jonathan Majors' lawyers say he's going to be fully vindicated and that video evidence will show that she is making this up. She is somebody under emotional distress. It's clearly a disaster for him, for Marvel's plans. He's supposed to be basically the next huge villain in the Marvel universe. But wow, I mean, if this is true, if it's true, which I hope it is not, wow, talk about fumbling the bag, as they say. I mean, this guy is set to make hundreds of millions of dollars, part of huge franchises. Recently, he was in Creed, Ant-Man. I believe there's even another movie he's in that I'm blanking on at the moment. But huge star on the rise. I know it shocked a lot of people over the last few days. So hopefully he can clear his name if he is innocent. If he's not innocent, then hey, he deserves to lose his opportunities. He should be canceled. So hopefully he didn't hit anybody. Hopefully there is no victim other than him being wrongfully accused. But I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. What do you guys think? Did he do it? Did he not do it? Is the girl crazy? Is he crazy? Let me know in the comments. More bad news for Shazam 2. Not only did it flop at the box office opening weekend, but it has completely fallen off the map. And the following week, it is doing terrible. And everybody's saying, you know what? It was time for DC to move on and get rid of this old universe and move on to the next one. Although we do still have The Flash coming out with the problematic Ezra Miller. And so who knows? Hopefully that's more well received. James Gunn says it's one of the best superhero movies of all time. So I think if it was a bad movie, they would have scrapped it with all the controversies surrounding Ezra Miller. But Shazam 2, not doing well. Still not doing well. So hopefully DC has some better luck with some future movies coming out. All right, for fans of the TV show Scrubs, there is hope for a Scrubs movie. Zach Braff has been teasing it for years. Now the creator of the series is saying, look, it's very possible. We all love hanging out together when we don't get to see each other for a while. We're like, we should just do a Scrubs reunion. not necessarily because we even want to make the movie, because we would just get to hang out then for, a while, which I'm sure they want to make the movie too. But I've seen some episodes of Scrubs, but I wasn't a diehard fan. Are you guys a diehard fan of that show? Would you love to see the movie? I'm assuming if you're a diehard fan of the show, you'd like to see your characters again. I hear the ending of the show was disappointing, so maybe they can have redemption with the Scrubs feature film. All right, I don't even know if you can count this as movie news, but 21 Jump Street was recently trending for the weirdest reason ever. Kanye West apparently recently watched the movie starring Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill, and Kanye West put an image of the movie poster on his Instagram and said, "I like Jewish people again, and I'm sorry, and you should never oppress a whole group of people because you dislike a couple, and Jonah Hill, thank you," and just so weird, so weird. I used to be a big Kanye fan, and he has just made it impossible to like him or want to listen to his music. Just asinine logic there. I watched 21 Jump Street, so I don't hate all Jewish people now. Kanye, what are you doing, man? Put down social media. Go get yourself some help. And it's enough is enough already, okay? For people looking forward to Joker 2, myself included, recently there were more images of Lady Gaga that came out of her in the makeup, looking like Harley Quinn in a crowd. Very excited for this movie, so it's fun as we get more images, hopefully some sort of teaser trailer soon. Look out for Joker 2. Chris McKay, the original director of the new Dungeons and Dragons movie, or who was supposed to direct the movie with Chris Pine, he said that he unfortunately grew up loving Dungeons and Dragons and was excited about a script that he was working with a partner of his, but he had to jump ship on the project because an opportunity came to direct The Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt, and he just simply had to make a choice. And luckily, he said a lot of the scenes that him and his buddy had put in the script are still in the actual movie, and that he's currently working on Renfield now, the Dracula movie starring Nick Cage. So interesting stuff, but gotta be crazy once you get to the level where you're being offered these huge projects. And imagine having to choose between, should I do the new Spider-Man movie, or should I do the new Dungeons and Dragons movies, or should I do, I don't know. Just what a great life, I can't film Dungeons and Dragons with Chris Pratt, so instead I'm gonna film I can't film Dungeons and Dragons with Chris Pine, so instead I'm gonna switch to a different Chris and do the Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt, Chris Pine. Oh, they're both Chris P. Huh. Producer John Landau recently revealed that the next Avatar movie will have a huge time jump in the storyline, and it will take place a decade and a half later. Man, Avatar really loves waiting a long time between movies, whether it's literal or just in the story, but a decade and a half will go by before the Na'vi tribe goes on more adventures. All right, so Chad Haleski, who I was talking about earlier, the John Wick director, he explained why Henry Cavill's Highlander remake is taking so long to get off the ground and get going. And he said it's because the mythology is so vast that there's so much material to pull from to make a movie out of. So that's what's taking so long, which is totally understandable. The more source material you have to pull from, the more work you have to do. So rest assured, though, it is in the works. Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon, which is supposedly a Star Wars-like movie for Netflix, is told to be also having R-rated extended cuts. So in addition to the PG-13 movie that's going to come out, there's going to be some extended R-rated cuts, which I think is pretty cool. If you make a Star Wars movie that's very kid-friendly, I think it'd be cool to have an R-rated version for adults where maybe a lightsaber, slices someone's head off. I don't know. We cut Darth Vader or Luke's arm off. Let's get even gorier. I think that's a cool idea. For fans of Spawn, the comic book, Todd McFarlane recently said that he will not be directing the movie, and that's because it's becoming too big budget, too huge A-list of a thing for a first-time director. He says he understands why a studio wouldn't want to take the risk on someone who's never directed a movie, even though he's an amazing artist and creator. What do you guys think? Should he be directing the movie? Or is he right? Should it go to somebody who's directed something? Especially, these comic book movies are such huge productions. There's so many special effects. So if it's not really in your wheelhouse, it could be overwhelming. And I'm sure he wants this movie to spawn many profits and sequels. Kiefer Sutherland recently revealed how grateful he is to still be in the movie, how grateful he is to have been in the movie Lost Boys. He said it spanned 4 generations where he still has people coming up to him saying, my father showed me this movie, I love it so much, and he's so grateful that he was cast in it. It's definitely an iconic movie. It was one of my favorites when I was a kid. I know my sister loved that movie. She had Corey Haim posters on her wall. Have you guys seen Lost Boys? I'm pretty sure they're doing a remake of it as well, which isn't surprising in today's times. They remake everything. So what do you guys think? Are you excited about the remake? Robert Pattinson and Robert Downy Jr. will be starring in Adam McKay's new movie about serial killers. Now, I don't know if it'll be a comedy, but it's about apparently a real-life murderer who learned the law and tried to change the laws to favor murderers. Imagine liking murdering that much that you literally learned the law to change laws to make it easier for you to murder. Sounds like this murderer was a little too smart to be wasting his talents on murdering. Changing the law, that's not an easy thing to do. But the movie will, no doubt, I'm sure, gain a lot of press and be really good, especially with stars like Robert Pattinson and Robert Downey Jr. in the cast. Are you guys looking forward to Adam McKay's next movie? All right, Tommy Wiseau, famous for the movie The Room, known as one of the worst movies of all time, as featured in James Franco's movie The Disaster Artist, which was the movie about the making of that movie. He's got a new trailer out. It's called The Big Shark, actually produced by a buddy of mine. The trailer's out. It's as ridiculous as you would imagine. The CGI is... You guys just gotta watch it. Just like The Room, it's, looking so bad, maybe it's so good, It's just ridiculous. But Tommy Wiseau, that's kind of what he's known for. What do you guys think? Are you excited to see this? Or are you like, nah, I'm okay? Is James Franco making a sequel to Disaster Artist all about this movie? Who knows? But check out that trailer, currently now available. Deadpool 3 rumors. Owen Wilson's Mobius is rumored to be in the movie. We don't know for sure. It's just a rumor. But stay tuned for more Deadpool 3 rumors. Hopefully we'll be heating up as we get closer to the movie's release. Alright guys, that's the latest in movie news. I will say I did attempt to watch Cocaine Bear over the weekend, and I was very disappointed. I really thought this was going to be a funny movie and a really good movie. It had a decent rating for a comedy. It's very rare that you see big budget comedies in theaters these days. And so I was really excited for this one. And I have to say, it's not. It was hard to pay attention. It was so dumb. And I wanted it to be so dumb it was good. But it just felt really dumb. It couldn't keep my roommate's attention. I'm going to try to get through it again. I want to like this movie. It's such a funny name. I really like Elizabeth Banks. And the premise sounds really funny. I just felt like the characters, there's no clear protagonist. And I don't know, who am I supposed to be rooting for? Nobody's particularly likable in the movie. It just feels really ridiculous. I don't know. Am I thinking too hard about Cocaine Bear? I'm going to give it another chance. We shut it off halfway through. It was just not doing it for us. But did you guys like it? Let me know what you thought of Cocaine Bear. I'm going to give it another try. Maybe I'll report next week that I liked it. A movie like that, The Anchorman. I watched Anchorman and hated it and shut it off. I think I actually walked out of theaters when it first came out. And then all my friends started quoting it. Everybody's talking about it. And I'm like, maybe I missed something. So I actually, when it came out, I rented it, and I didn't like it again. And then I lived with a guy who nonstop quoted it, months later. And I said, what am I missing? I gotta try again. And I watched it, and sure enough, I loved it. I don't know why. sometimes you're just in a certain mood or you go into a movie and I don't know, but the third time was the charm. So maybe Cocaine Bear needs one more viewing. I don't know. But I will see you guys next week for more Let's Talk Movies.